to you, my fellow Dark Ones. How are you guys doing today? How's life? Me is super happy to hear that. Unless it's something bad, then I'm really sad. You might notice that there has been a slight time gap in between the episodes, and I can assure you, I haven't done anything. I was just AFK, but we do have 50,000 ectoplasm, and I'm really trying my best to make the Spectre coils in correct numbers. We have 10,000 of it, and we are going to order 4,000 more. Maybe not. We need to dupe stuff, as usual. 4,000 more? Lovely. Also, we are going to have 14,000 of the Spectre coils, and you might notice that is 1.8% of the way there. We are so close. No, of course not, we're doing garbage. But there are so many things that we have to do between now and the end of the series, and one of them is the Chaos Catalyst. This is a bit irritating. I meant this guy over here. So there is no way in this universe that we can make one of them this episode, but we are going to work towards it. But one thing that you should pay attention to is that out of the first like 3 or 4 rows, we don't have to worry about anything. As far as I'm understanding everything, there are 3 items which are a bit important. One of them is the flame barrier from Embers. You go to another page, okay. One of them is bamboo, amber star, and I think that's it. Talking about temporary and garbage setups, let us get the singularities from applied energistics. You know, we can't really make a system for it. I just made 1 stack. I just put the creative tank on top, exported it, and well, that was the speed. I do have a feeling we are getting to every tick. I don't know, it moves so fast. And we need, yeah, let's say 12,000. You know what, I'm having problems. Let us get 1 stack of Spectre coils. Just 1 stack. That stack is for me. So there are a few things that we have already done in Project Ozone Kappa mode, but unfortunately I don't remember any of them. One of them is bamboo. Oh, you can't plant it. A Evertide amulet. And now the bamboo? Hoe of the Cosmos? Where the hell do you plant this? Oh, okay. That makes sense. Colossally bamboozled. You don't have to make it, you can just harvest it. And we got 2. So my assumption is that you're not going to need any water, and my assumption is correct. Imaginary time block works. Actually, we don't really need to make a farm for it, we just need to break this block. I was under the impression that automating bamboo is going to be something very complicated, and I remember it was very complicated in Kappa mode. Maybe I was just being stupid. But generally speaking, that's it. Block breakers, bamboo, imaginary time block. I guess we just get a few thousand and call it a day. As for the singularities, we already have 23,000. We don't need that anymore. And in the moment that I explained to you that we have 23,000, now we have 24,000. Amazing progress. Also, I kind of forgot, this place is not chunk loaded. We chunk load everything. Yeah, so that takes care of bamboo. Now we need to take care of the amber star, which does require 3 resin. We already got the sapling a few episodes ago, but we need to make a farm. It was called balsam. I have no idea what balsam is. Let us get a few stacks. Wrong machine. I always do that. Yes, I think we are supposed to be here. We have 2,515 plums, and we also have 16,000 ultimate stew. All I want to know is that, can I disable the farm? Well, we don't really have to disable the farm. We can just allocate some of them to the new sapling. Yeah, that should work. Oh, and by the way, FPS here is amazing. Oh, lovely, we are getting resin already. So the resin is also going into our system. That is perfect. We need around 60,000 of it, so it's not that bad. As I have already mentioned, the production itself is not great, but later on we're going to switch from plums into resin. So I'm going to say that the amber star has been solved. It's just that we need a bunch of amber glass, which is very easy. We just dupe it a bit. 11,000, 12,000. Yeah, that's probably more than enough. By the time I shut it down, it was 28,000. Anyways, now we come to the flame barrier, the laggiest thing in the universe. Oh, you need to set up the entire Embers infrastructure for that. That's fine. Some of that should be inside chests. Yes. So I don't really know how to craft this because we have to measure the ash piles that we have to put in. So let's set up everything. After that, we're going to decide how we're going to set everything up. We need silver aspect and downstone aspect between 16 and 32. So we just put 16 and, you know, fire. We're gonna get garbage. We got garbage. And it has EMC. Inaccuracy by 13. So it's like 3 in each one? If that is the case, this is going to be incredibly cheap. You know, when they say it's between 16 and 32 and you're inaccurate by 13, the answer is not 3. Seems to be 29. Yeah, also I should have timed it. It's actually not that bad for our FPS. Let me try to get another one, time it, and see how we proceed. Well, it takes 35 seconds, and we need 12,000 of it. That is 116 hours. Okay, let me think of something. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is our Ember setup, and I set it up in another dimension. Oh, my digital miner. I never saw that. I put it over here just because of lag. Because I'm sure that animation is going to cause lag if it has to run for like, I don't know, 30 hours or something crazy. And yes, I did mention this is going to take around 110 hours, but we have 4 machines, so we're cutting that by 75%. So far, it works perfectly, and let me try to explain to you how it works and how I made the boo-boo. It's much easier to do this with XNet or any other method, but I really love thermodynamic pipes, so I'm using that. With the filter, you can specify how many items you should keep in an inventory, so we can specify that, hey, we need 1 plate here, 1 plate there, 1 ingot there, and something in the center. We can easily specify that, hey, don't put more than 29 ashes inside the pedestal. But that comes with a slight cost. You can physically see the items moving in the item duct. And that takes time. Currently at 40 seconds for each machine, we're safe, everything will be in place, and the machine will operate. But if we manage to cut it by like, I don't know, 5 seconds or something crazy, we're going to save 20 hours. You might notice that at the start I had the energy condensers in the center. I realized that, no, it's never gonna make it in time. But now I realized I could have done something much better. What we're going to do is that we're gonna put them in the center. This way we will have more extraction points. Again, you don't really have to do this with thermodynamics. It's a very stupid idea, but look at that pipe. It's so nice. The one with 3 connections, we are going to use it for plates. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Nope, now it goes inside the other energy condensers. It's EMC, it's gonna be converted. So let us see if we're extracting it faster, it's going to make any difference. Currently we're at 800 ticks, we go to 700. That is 35 seconds. It takes 31 seconds point something in order to craft the item, so you can't really go that crazy. But the closer we get to that number, the better. 680 ticks. If it works with that, I'm fine. Okay, moment of truth. Yep, you misfired. 35 seconds it is. You know, I should have gone with XNet, but it's fine. We are filthy rich, money can solve everything. And no, people who say no to you are wrong. Yes, this is much better. We are using a lot of energy condensers and we have reduced the distance by a lot. And the system is working at every 630 ticks, which is almost as good as you can get. But I can maybe also go 1 second lower. We let 1 to finish. It's not much. I have no idea if that is a second or not. The first one is going to misfire because I have reset the timer, but we will wait. And it worked. Wow, we can't really go less than 610 ticks. You see, when it's done, there is a teeny tiny gap between it restarts. That's it. Okay. I'm happy with that. With Embers, I think the hardest part of the Chaos Catalyst itself has been solved. I could be wrong because there's like a bajillion items that we have to make. But let us get started. Yes, I'm aware that we need a ton of ethereal slate, but that's easily fixable. So I think until Elementium we're going to be fine. Yes, we're going to have a slight problem with the basic wafer because, not the basic, one of the wafers. Yes, advanced wafer. Because you know, each wafer gives you 3, this one gives you 1. But that is perfectly fine. Once we get all the wafers, I'm just gonna switch the machines. Nocturnal powder, I'm not really sure how to automate it, but we will find a way. But for argument's sake, we're going to say that we are fine until Elementium. We just need to have a few ingots from nuclear craft. One major problem that we have is that some of the items are not really worth it to automate. For example, we're going to need 16,000 zirconium. Yeah, it's that one. So there's really no point of making a pattern or some sort of an automation. We just need a Zenith furnace. Oh, and by the way, for the longest time, everybody was telling me, Lash, make a processing upgrade. Did you ever pay attention to its recipe? It needed the ultimate ingot. And to be honest with you, after you get the ultimate ingot, you don't really need the upgrade. So here is zirconium going inside. Lovely. I still didn't really have to use the upgrade. Yeah, we're getting it at a decent speed. It's fine. Actually, while we are on the subject of the furnace, somebody suggested something a while ago to me when I was nagging about Zenith furnaces. I think it was the nuclear craft episode. The problem was that if I had an interface on top of the furnace, it was not pumping the items fast enough. What he recommended, which I should have probably listened to him earlier, I'm sorry I didn't, was that, hey, just put a crate. You know, it will act as a buffer, the interface will fill it in, and, well, processing speed is going to be faster. My assumption is that he's very right. So we will have an interface on top going into a crate, and we're going to extract into an interface because we want it to be really fast. And hopefully a glowstone. I should have a pattern for glass. Yes. Why are we down to 23 FPS? So we're back up to 120 FPS, almost. And do you have any idea why we were down to 20 FPS? The drives. 2 of them were flickering because they were sending items between each other or something. The fix for that was relatively simple. I just came to one of the drives, I set a higher priority. I almost tore down my entire base because why would your drives cause problems? But yeah, the solution with the crate and the furnace works perfectly. I'm happy with this. And you know, we finally have something to cover this place with. Now that we have the furnaces over here, I thought maybe we should have some patterns, and I think we have patterns for every single ingot that we need. Except for this one, which is boron and magnesium, which is not really important because this one has EMC. Yeah, so let us copy this one. That's probably more than enough. And now we should be able to order the rest. Zirconium we already got. Beryllium, let us make 16,000. Lithium has EMC. This one we just already made. Zircalloy. We ordered 16,000 of that as well. We're out of tin. I had millions of tin. All of that is gone. We just need one ingot. We dupe it. I think all of that was consumed for neutral steel. I had 5 million. And it's not like you're doing amazing. Anyways, we get back to business. 16,000 zircalloy and HSLA. 16,000 as well. As for ethereal slate, I do have a feeling we have to change our setup a bit. We can also use a creative tank. But villagers are suffering. We increase their suffering. You are ethereal slate. Lovely. We are going to change the pattern that we have, that one inscription tile equals one blank slate, into ethereal slate. And I don't really know if we can keep up, but let us order 100 and see how everything goes. Okay, there is no way in this universe that you can operate it without a creative tank. I had to add more speed upgrades and sacrifice the capacity, but I think I'm going to need more speed upgrades. It's okay, I'm going to tweak it later on, but for the moment we have 65 ethereal slate. The other item which does not have any EMC and we have to craft it for the chaos catalyst is going to be pink slime ingot. Apparently when we were making the singularities I made too much. We have 29,000 of it, so that's not a problem. Although later on we are also going to need 700,000 of it for another ingot. But I think with that we're almost fine for the chaos catalyst, except two things: nether rime and nether amethyst. Nether rime and nether amethyst are basically the same. You can make a block, animate the block, and then use a factorizer to unblock it. So that is exactly what we're going to do. We're just going to make a block, animate it, and call it a day. I have 500,000 raw gassed meat. I should disable that. Oh, the lag is back. Do you notice that flickering? That's causing the lag. I think it's because one of the drives, the drive that I set a higher priority is now full. I guess I have to do this for like every single drive. Yeah, you see? Now the lag is gone. So I was looking at the recipes and I realized we're missing something very important. Time absorber. I was under the impression that this guy has EMC, but unfortunately no, and it needs a machine frame. There is a cheap recipe for it, but I'm really not in the mood. You can't animate the frame, but you can animate the absorber. I'm assuming it's going to drop it and it's going to make our life easier, because remember, we need 12,000 of these machine frames, and they're very expensive. Let us see if this system works. Also, we don't need the nether rime or nether amethyst, and yet we're getting time absorbers. Lovely. That was very cheaty, I like that. So with the time absorber, we should not have any more problems. What we need to do is to just get 2 more items, actually 3 of them. And this is just a recipe to irritate you because you're like, why the hell do we even need to have this? They just want you to set up an empower to get 1 empowered canola seed, and then it has EMC. Then there are a few computer craft parts which I have already made. I need literally 1 villager. For the enticing crystal, which yes, that one also has EMC. And ladies and gentlemen, I think we're done. Oh, brown plastic. We're going to go to the wrong machine. No, plastic is not a horrifying problem. We're making it incredibly fast. The gears I have on auto crafting, HOP graphite has EMC. Yeah, we're good. We can set up the automation. This is our most important automation. We're going to have 2 ultimate crafting tables for it. And I guess for the moment, a bunch of interfaces. That's too many. We're not going to need more than 8 interfaces, correct? These are all the items on the first row, and we have plenty of each and every one, so don't you worry. This interface is going to export all of those, and we are also going to fill in the ultimate crafting tables, like so. I thought placing blocks is not very fun to see. I have filled in everything except a few items. And yes, we needed exactly 7 interfaces. The item that we need is neutral steel of the 10th. At this very moment, we have 8,000 of it, so we're good. We need like 3,000 more, that's fine. We will get there in no time. Which one is it? All of them are the same color. Uh-oh. Yeah, I think you need 1 more interface, just for neutral steel. And the final items that we have to make are the body stone, soul stone, mind stone, and life stone. Which for that, I think we are going to use energy condensers. It's going to be much easier. I have made the stones. Did I copy them? I have not done that, and that was a stupid idea. That is perfectly fine. They're cheap, easy to make. Yeah, actually, they were super easy to make. This is not a shapeless crafting recipe. The order that they go in is important. So it's body, soul, mind, and life. Chaos Catalyst. I did not think we were going to make it today. I set up the piping and yes, we started crafting it. It goes somewhere. Where do you go? Ah, Chaos Catalyst. Amazing. The only question would be why the hell you're not a quest? Ah, because you're not. Okay, but seems to be working fine. We have all the ingredients, so we should not be worried. I have been editing the footage and I realized I lied to you. We don't have everything. What the? We have a tear in space-time. Cause do you have any idea what this is? This is exactly the position of our Embers setup in the Lost Cities. So, back to my lies. Yes, we don't have enough ethereal slate, which is perfectly fine. Instead of actually auto-crafting it, I'm just gonna fill in the chests. It takes like 4,000 items, it takes hours and hours, and well, I have to fill it in 3 times. The other lie that I have told you is about nocturnal powder. I have no idea how to auto-craft it, so I'm just gonna do this manually. Yes, all 12,000. Yeah, this is going to be super easy. It's been like 5 minutes, and I have 14,000 illumination powder, which I think we didn't really need that. Oh, it's a 1:4 ratio. So no, we didn't need that much. Well, I crafted 6,000. That's probably more than enough. 6,800. It's not enough for the endgame, but it's enough for today. I will try to craft them bit by bit in between the episodes. We have 418 chaos catalysts. So I can make the chaos ingot? Why the hell not? Ludicrite does have EMC. We're missing a few blocks. So voila. A block of Ludicrite, we dupe it a bit, and we also dupe the ingot. The Chaos Ingot is such a cheap thing to make, so I guess let us make a bunch. 16 for the moment. That is a quest. Come on. Yes. It has been a bunch of time later, and we have 1,485 Chaos Catalyst. Amazing progress. I also decided since we have a bit of time, I start working around the base. At this very moment, time is all we have. Can we have 10,000 more Spectre Coils? 22,000 more? That's fine. But even though we have the Chaos Catalyst and even though we can make Chaos Ingots, we have so much more things to do. These stupid things that you see over here, and I want to get rid of them as soon as possible. We do have extra compressors, that's always nice. Oh, and by the way, I think it was last episode or something that we started making the Draconium Singularity, or whatever it is called. Tex Cubite Plate. I think they're named after YouTubers. Well, I wasn't going to say anything special, it's just that we have 61. We need to set up an area for this kind of work, and I have just noticed we don't really need these empowerers anymore. I mean, every single capacitor does have EMC, and all the empowered items also have EMC. I kind of like them. Perfectly fine, we don't need them, ever. This was our backup reserve, and it's humongous. So the way that we're going to do this is that we're going to have 4 quantum compressors and interface, so that we would be able to extract the items from the quantum compressors, like so, but they are not going to be active at all times because we don't want millions of singularities. We just want 1 stack. So I really want the machines not to make anything more than 1 stack. On top of each and every one of them, for the moment, we're going to have a crate, so that applied energistics would export the items a bit faster, and we shall translocate it inside the compressor. For this purpose, I think glowstone is necessary, and let us give it a test. Let's see which one of them is cheap and easy to make. Dragonstone. I do say cheap and easy to make, but you should remember, 772,000. The good thing about items which have EMC is that we get them almost 2,000 per second. This is going to make us the Mythian metal. So does it work? Do you have channels? Well, it is warming up, but it's not fast enough. Seriously, dude, that is your warming up speed? Yeah, we're just gonna translocate it in. It should be faster. Is it faster? Well, we got the 1. Also, no, it does seem that the export bus was faster. Yep, so we are doing Dragonstone, Mystical Green Petals, Cherries, and Ludicrite. That's 4 out of, I have no idea how many they are. And please remember that we are doing all of this in order to make a few chaos planks. These 4 singularities that we were working on are almost done. We have 40 plus something. And if you guys remember, Auro blocks was also one of them. We have 971,000. So I'm assuming we don't need to spawn that anymore, but we also need to spawn some crystal matrix. I have uncrafted all the blocks. I don't know if I need more. I have a think. This doesn't really look like the end. I misclicked. Now that they're done, we shall start with 4 more. Ender Pearls, Mirror, Glimmering Magenta Flower, and Aura Blocks. Although there are a few of them that I'm really worried about, so maybe we should work towards them. One of the things that I'm really worried about is the industrial machine chassis. We have 269,000 of it, but we need around 500,000 more. The problem is that the number of items that you need in order to make the industrial dye blend is disproportionate. And by that I mean you need more crushed quartz than you need crushed lapis. And since I only have like 1 machine which is doing both of them, it's taking a bit of time. These 2 alloy furnaces that you see over here are making us vivid alloy as well as silver alloy, so we don't need them anymore. And instead we are going to add 2 more sag mills for quartz. And the final one for the chassis itself. Hopefully this is going to make it go a bit faster. Another one which I'm worried about is the Draconium Seed. In Kappa mode we made it relatively easily because we needed like 18,000 or something. Now we need 750,000. And I honestly have no idea how to do this other than the way that I did it in Kappa mode, so we're going to repeat the process. We just need some upgrades from extra utilities, and unfortunately I have never auto-crafted them. Okay, it has been a bunch of time later, and I think we have the speed upgrades on auto-crafting. We have 2 resonators, and we have 2 enchanters over here with some pylons. They do act as a bookshelf. So let us try to get, I don't know, maybe 200 upgrades? Okay. That's doable. And our singularities here are also finished, which means we're almost done. We have 770,000 tar, so that's going to be the next one. Also diorite, item conduits, and sea lanterns. And more of them are off the list. So let us get to the draconium singularity. They don't really want you to craft it, they want you to harvest it. And I think since this is our laggiest place, we're gonna do everything here and get tons of garbage. This is so laggy, it's very hard to break blocks. So if everything works like Kappa mode, what we're going to do is that we're going to have 20 mechanical users. 10 of them are going to place down crop sticks. If you set them to use item on block, right click. Yep. There will be a 1 block gap, so it will not put it in front of it, with 1 block distance. And then what we need to have is 1 draconium. Actually, it seems it shouldn't be a 10-10-10, it should be a 0-0. So we just plant it down and reset it. So using an energy condenser, we should be able to provide these guys with crop sticks. It has EMC. And then we're going to have 1 imaginary time block. It should spread. I did not set up the rest. I have set up the rest. We need speed upgrades. So this row is always going to stay there. This row is going to be harvested. So now if we put you on activate block, left click, it should harvest it. We're getting the seed, we're getting the essence, and it's actually quite fast. We didn't really need to have speed upgrades, I guess. So we're not really interested in draconium essence, we just want the seed. Therefore we shall have an ender chest, item collector, and I think this was the correct filter. The other things we're just gonna void, we don't need them. I do admit, it's not the fastest thing in the universe, I have not put the speed upgrades in, but this is fine by me. We're already 0.01% there. Cause you see, here's the point, unlike the ectoplasm, we don't need 8 million, we just need 700,000. 800,000. But there's also a thorium singularity, which unfortunately I removed all the seeds. And I have no idea which one is which. Ah, thorium. Well, I guess you have speed upgrades, we put you over there. Yeah, I did manage to get 60 tar singularities, so we don't need this to run anymore. Where are my creative tanks? Oh, it's just the one. We take you home. They don't have to work anymore. Also, we need around 740,000 more spectre coils. And yeah, the result is not the best. We still need 8 million ectoplasm. So we have the resin, we have 24,000 ultimate stew. You don't have to work anymore. You know, we can remove everything. That should save on a bit of lag. So instead of having 512, we're going to have 1,500 botany pots for this. Is there any merit of planting it ourselves? Yeah, we're not actually getting any ectoplasm from this farm, which is very weird. Yeah, seriously, dude. Nothing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Garden of Lag. We're at 13 FPS, and I haven't planted down the saplings yet. Also, one of the reasons that we are very low on FPS might be the item ducts. I should have used the opaque version. My bad. We're not doing great. 17. But if you want to look at the entire thing, yeah, we're not crashing. Good. That was a total of 6 chunks, and I'm not really sure if this is good enough. Let me just time it for like 2 minutes. Well, it seems to be around 900 per minute. First off, there's a chance of getting it, and there's also a growth cycle. Meaning that sometimes you get like 50 or 60 per second, sometimes you get like 2. I don't really think I can go crazier than that, so we call it good. Worst comes to worst, I'm gonna AFK. Also, are you causing me problems again? Yeah, again. But in the meantime, our other singularities, yes, they're ready. Perfect. Do you see the moon? And do you notice that it's jumping? That is because we have some TPS lag, which is not great. So what I'm going to do is going to be basically very simple. I'm just going to AFK until we get all the ectoplasms. It should be around 30 hours or something. It's just 1 day and a bit. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's also a good time to wrap up the episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next one. Bye bye. The problem with having TPS lag is that yes, you're getting tons of items, but your game is not running fast enough. So for example, getting 200 items per second in 10 TPS is equal to 100 items with 20 TPS, which is the correct one. So I have removed some of the bonsai pots, our TPS is fine, and this should run. And I don't really have to AFK, I hate AFKing. Oh, and while we're here, we don't need these guys. I mean, I don't really need to have like 2 million ghast flesh. Anyways, I just wanted to give you a very small update. That was it. Bye bye again.